But at the top of the 9 o'clock hour, folks, as we've mentioned, and the Vince McMahon formula again here, although it's not revolutionary, but a big star at the top of the hour. And here comes Brock Lesnar. And again, babyface Brock, he looks like he's actually, you know what, he's enjoying himself, but he's enjoying himself because he can come out and kind of act like not only a fake nice guy, but then be a smart ass, and he's getting paid a fortune to do it. So he's kind of enjoying this, I think, in his own Brock way. But did you ever think his opening lines would be, "Thank you very much," and "Good evening, Orlando"? He sounded like a fucking lounge singer at the Boom Boom Room.
And he looks like he's having the greatest time.
And that's the thing, is he's actually getting
I've never seen him smile so much.
To come out and kind of jack off in his own way, but it still gets over, and beat people up, and he's making a fucking fortune. And he does the promo about Bobby Lashley, and he got tossed in the Rumble. He calls him Bobby who? He couldn't get Bobby out of his head. He went hunting. He went ice fishing. But here's what I noticed. When did he get an accent like he's living in Bug Tussle? It's country Brock now. He's almost Southern hillbilly Brock. Did you notice the drawl?
I did notice it. And the other thing I noticed, because I noticed it a few months back when this started, the way he says Bobby. Bobby!
Bobby! But it says, I mean, he lived in Louisville for a little while, but even we don't talk that country. And he's living in Saskatchewan. But anyway, when he crawls in bed with his wife, he can't stop thinking, and 4 or 5 hours later, he can't stop thinking about Bobby Lashley. But anyway, finally, after only 22 years, he's learned to like to do promos. And he brings out of his pocket the multi-million-dollar contract for a match with Lashley at the Elimination Chamber, and calls Bobby Lashley out to sign the contract. And within 2 seconds, Bobby Lashley's music plays, and he's walking around a corner. You couldn't. I've seen people that knew their cue and were visually cued by more than one person that still didn't come out that quick. Couldn't they make it? Again, we're accepting this. It's a play that's unfolding in front of us in whatever number of acts. Oh, a new character is entering. But, my God, remember again, when these things that they're copying now started in the wrestling business, it was like, I dare the son of a bitch to come out here. I'm not going to leave till he comes out. And somebody from the promotion had to come out and say, God damn it, you got to get out. Oh, well, wait, Jesus Christ, send the guy out here so we can get this guy out of the ring. Whatever. It's a 3-hour program. The entrances take fucking 10 minutes. Give 45 seconds to, well, we don't see this on our format. Well, I'm not goddamn leaving till I get it, or anything. Am I crazy?
No. I thought Lashley looked good out there with the suit and the sunglasses. He kind of gave off an aura for once.
Well, yes. I'm not saying he shouldn't have come out looking like that. I'm saying that he had to be. They've made it so that everybody's waiting for their cue and everything happens so smoothly. And it's not the whole idea of angles in wrestling, confrontations in wrestling, challenges in wrestling, was that they caught people's eye because it was an unexpected and supposedly unplanned occurrence that was unfolding in front of the viewer's eyes in real time without prearrangement by the parties involved, or obvious prearrangement by the parties involved. You see, and they've just skipped over all that part to get to the people emoting to each other. But Lashley comes out in his suit and he looks like $1 million. And now, obviously, suddenly, well, I mean, I know that they've had him and MVP 2 ships passing in the night for a few weeks and everything, but pretty abruptly, in terms of his demeanor and the way he presents himself, he's now a heel. He better be.
Brock is clearly babyface.
Well, yeah, Brock's babyface is a goddamn newborn baby's ass. How's that for a simile? And Bobby comes out in the suit, the exact antithesis of working man Brock, lumberjack Brock. He's dressed up to the nines, and unfortunately, and Bobby did this okay for just, government work, as they used to say, but this is after Brock's promo especially, where it's just, he's out there, right? It accentuates Bobby's weaknesses verbally when he has to give history lessons or explain multiple reasonings for things. You see what I'm saying? And going through details are not his strength, because he needs to be short and to the point and try to muster some passion, because he can get somewhat robotic trying to say, well, now first you beat me and then I beat you and then we went to the draw, whatever, the recount of their history. It doesn't have the emotion. But then he pretty much segues right into a heel comment when he says, well, this contract, he did extrapolate on the ways that he's come out on top of Brock in the past. He says, I'm going to let my agent, my manager, and my lawyer look at this contract, and then I'll take it into consideration. And he finally, it looked like he was going to leave, and then he goes back and he says, gets up in Brock's face. He says, are you surprised that Bobby Who has one up on you? And he booped Brock's nose with his finger and then turns his back on the beast, Brock Lesnar, and calmly walks away. And of course, Brock reaches out and snatches him, picks him up and gives him the F5. Boom, and puts the contract on top of him. And goes to leave, and the crowd starts chanting, one more time, and he looks at him and milks it like a Jersey Guernsey, and fucking one more time he does. Boom, another F5. And again, where I've been bitching that, why are they laying Lashley out? Why are they pissing his mouth while he's down there? What the fuck's this doing? That's when Bobby's been presented as a babyface. For a heel Bobby Lashley, this was the right thing to fucking do. If they've settled on this arrangement now where Brock's a babyface and Bobby's a heel, I will be more than happy to work with them on it. I hope it'll be consistent. And I believe they pissed on babyface Bobby a little bit too much, but this is something that a heel does.
What do you think of Lashley being put back if they do it, as it looks like they're going to, as they should probably, or they shouldn't have broken it up, but what do you think about him being back with MVP and Shelton and Cedric?
Well, again, I'm for that because we like the Hurt Business, and I'm not trying to find a turd in every punch bowl. We like the Hurt Business. We said that they shouldn't have broken them up, and we wish they'd put them back together. Well, if they are, again, my only bitch is, why the fuck did you break them up? Because none of the ones of them did as good with what they've done since as they were doing together. So it just, I don't know.
Have we ever seen a Brock Lesnar Shelton Benjamin match?
Wait. Was there? I don't know if
the fact that we can't even think of one may tell the story.
There was some time where I think he was easily handled, Shelton was, by Brock, but that may have been part of an angle. But if you gave those guys some time and you let them do what they could do, and it wouldn't even have to. I know a lot of people are saying, well, Shelton shouldn't work even with Brock because he hadn't been presented equally to Brock. And, you don't like that when they do it other places. Well, Shelton still was a former goddamn tag team champion there. Didn't he also hold one of the Intercontinental title? And they could tell the story that Shelton, in effect, was Brock's coach at Minnesota, wrestling coach, because he was assistant coaching when Brock was on a team, and that they were first tag team partners, and the match they could put on if they were both motivated and given the time. You, as the old Christopher Lee Superman tagline, you would believe a man can fly. You would believe Shelton could take him. But nevertheless,
when you look at Brock Lesnar from OVW and a Blaster Lashley from OVW, there have been a lot of renovations to the characters of both men throughout the many years.
Boy, there have been. And it's so amazing that if I could find my arrow to put up the yes, I'll tell you another thing. Now, don't start like that on your program. No, I mentioned to you, and you may be hearing some slight knocking and banging. Because at the top of the program I was talking about, I had some problems with my electrical outlets in one of the rooms that I've had remodeled here at the castle over the past several months. Well, God dang it, all I can say is I wish that last summer I had known the folks at West Shore Home. And now that I do, this summer and this remodeling season is going to be more stress-free for me because I know now what not to do and what to do and who I need to do it. And West Shore Home is the fastest growing, not only shower and bath remodeling company in the U.S., they also do windows and doors. We're going to talk about that. Any hole in the side of your home, they'll do it. Or any place where you can get wet, they'll probably address that too. But they fully replace your old shower or bathtub with their modern showers or baths in just one day. And right before we went on the air today, I was watching another one of the TV commercials down here. They're everywhere. They got the time-lapse photography where they come in, and let's say you've got a shower stuck in a bathroom somewhere. There's mildew. There's grottenness in the grout. There's some kind of, I don't know, green fungus growing out from underneath the spigot and everything. Cracks, crevices everywhere. They rip all that shit out, and they replace it with the brand new state-of-the-art space-age designs in just one day, so it's ready for dinner time. And Brian, you've informed me that most people don't eat dinner in their bathtub. They just like to have strangers out of their bathtub by the time the dinner rolls around. Well, that's what the folks at West Shore Home are going to do. And they will come out beforehand and scope this situation out. They'll send their design consultant out mornings, afternoons, evenings, weekends. You and I have had a disagreement, Brian, as to whether they'll come 3, 4 a.m. or not.
They won't.
I bet you they will if you're a sexy woman scantily clad.
No, they won't. They are professional. They are professional. They are not Vince McMahon, so you have nothing to worry
about. It's Valentine's Day season. Potentially there's some lady that's lonely and wants a serviceman to come over in the middle of the night.
You think this sexy young woman, I assume young, but this sexy woman...
It could be any... We're not going to be ageist here. She could be a senior.
And
Seniors need love too.
And she just needs a new bathtub in the middle of the night?
Needs a new bathtub or shower, and maybe she's a senior citizen that's been longing for some human companionship and also needs a grab bar so she doesn't slip and take a bump. Well, there you go. Then maybe she needs you to come over about 2 a.m. and grab that bar.
But you were selling it before like it was something that would entice the wonderful people from West Shore Home. A sexy woman, and they're not an old lady who's lonely, but just
she's wearing a negligee. But whatever time of day that the design consultant comes out, you get to build your dream shower or bath just the way you want it with laser etched designs. You like Sputnik Monroe used to have those boots. You could have a big dick and balls probably designed on your shower if you wanted to, or anything else. Built-in seats in case your shower and bath is so big that you get tired walking across it. You have to sit down. I've got one in my shower in my office bathroom. Shelves, doors, the windows, the magnetic shower heads. Again, watch out. If anybody hauls a big load of metal right by you, if you're close enough to the road, that thing will fucking take off with you. But they've got all that stuff, and they'll show it to you. You put everything together, and then a few days later, the professionals do a one-day bath replacement. As a matter of fact, they took a challenge on one of the recent commercials. They did 2 bathrooms, same house, one day, in between breakfast and dinner. Of course, they had to drug the homeowners.
No, they did not, and they did not.
A state of suspended animation, so when they woke up, it had been 3 days, but they actually were just eating dinner.
I just felt like Damian Priest on Raw. I saw a slow-moving train. I was trying to stop it, trying to fix things, and it still happened. You will not be drugged.
No, not unless you do it by your own hands. Why? Because you don't have to lift a finger. You can sit around and get stoned all day long while these people are here because it's no No skin off your nose. They do all the work. It takes more effort to open up a bottle of whiskey and have a drink, or it takes more effort than just hopping on to Brock Lesnar's wife for 4 or 5 hours, or whatever the case may be.
4 or 5 hours. How old is Sable now?
That's, oh boy, I don't know.
She's older than you, isn't she?
She was a Shar-Pei puppy in 98. But anyway, they'll take out the old shower or bath, throw it right out in your backyard for you. The kids can play with it.
No, the kids cannot play with an old bathtub, which won't be in your backyard. The fine people from West Shore Home do not leave plumbing supplies in your yard.
What I thought is, that's a refrigerator that the kids aren't supposed to play. They can play with bathtubs, I thought.
How about play with toys and read books? Do not play with discarded bathroom furniture.
If it's just leaning up there in the backyard, but West Shore Home, they'll haul that off too, right? Because it says they do all the cleanup. Yeah, and that's part of the before dinner. They'll set your table for dinner also, get you all ready for dinner. And they know people are worried about dinner.
They don't do that either. Don't promise that.
As a matter of fact, some of these professional installers and these remodelers, they got varied backgrounds. Maybe one of them's a chef. They might could cook you dinner. But you don't have to do any work. And folks, again, that's for the remodeling of the shower and the bath. They also do windows and doors. You can check the website promo.westshorehome.com. See which locations you can see or you can request rather the free window and door remodeling preview they give you. But if you want a shower or bath, do they do bidets? I'm not sure. I'll check on the bidets. But if you live in or around Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Richmond, Salisbury, Virginia Beach, Winston-Salem, Charlotte, Greenville, Asheville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Charleston, Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, Greenville, New Bern, Columbia, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Orlando, Ocala, Tampa, Birmingham, Huntsville, Montgomery, Oklahoma City, Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Phoenix, Denver, Colorado Springs, and Salt Lake City.
Oof.
Then you need to go to promo.westshorehome.com/Jim and get the fastest, easiest, and most convenient home remodeling experience that you will ever have. Happiness is just a phone call away. Don't be showering or bathing in a fucking sewage-filled mess when you can have a brand new clean one. And somebody send me an oxygen tank.
West Shore Home,